Ay, bossing! Baka naman kasi hindi matibay yung ginamit nyo. Dapat ang gamitin mo ay cherry loom, ang yerong aluminum. Basta yero, cherry loom. Tibay protektado sa pangmatagalang yero.
Power Play! Narito na ako, Noli Iyala, kilalanin ang mga nasa likod ng bawat laro. Sa buhay man o sa playing court, game na tayo! Power and Play sa Radyo 5, 92.3 News FM.
Kapwa ko Pilipino, ipagmalaki ang galing na meron tayo. Ilantad ang likas nating talento at magdala ng saya sa mundo. Sa harap ng pagsubok ay di susuko, para sa pangarap tayo'y porsigido. Magpakitang gilas na at magpapatalo, ipagdiwang natin ang Pilipino. Yan ang Pinoy. Mula noon at hanggang ngayon, talento natin ng bida. Mula sa simpleng bakuran hanggang entablado natin ipakita. May pagsubok man ng Pinoy, pinalalakas ng saya. San man tayo sa pulot, sumbe, sibay, lakay, maniga. Sama-samang pakita ang galing natin katropa sa kapwa ko Pilipino.
Samut-saring paksa sa isang sa mundo ng palakasan sa isang maulang umaga. E di paano? Bango na! Power and Play na! Power and Play with Noli Iyala. Magandang araw po sa inyo lahat. Magandang umaga, mayong buntag, kaninyong tanan. Na bigat, yo amin. Sa lahat po ng ating mga suki sa Power and Play. Hatid sa inyo ng Cherry Loom, ang yerong may aluminum, Cherry Tigo, it's fun to drive, Chooks to go, ang nag-iisang manok ng bayan, at True Religion, where passion meets power. Of course, ang Power and Play is powered by Smart. Live Smart. Ako po si Noli Iyala at talaga naman pong maulan, basa ang ating mga lansangan at mabagyong umaga, Sabado ng umaga ang bumabati sa ating lahat ngayon mga kaibigan, mga kapatid ha. Kaya po lahat po ng mga suki natin sa Radyo 5, 92.3, ingat po yung mga biyahero, yung pong mga pauwi ng kanilang mga lugar para atin pong ipagdiwang ang undas. Mag-iingat po tayo, long weekend nga talagang sa lahat naman ng bagay, no? Kung kailan pa naman long weekend at gusto natin lahat lumabas, makasinghot ng ika nga, sariwang simoy ng hangin sa probinsya, saka naman pong umuulan. Lalong-lalo na po yung mga pauwi ng Bicol, pauwi po ng Batangas at ng Quezon. Ang bagyo daw po, ngayon ay tropical depression na lang yata, pero malakas pa rin ang pag-ulan. Ang aking pong nabalitaan, dyan pong papunta sa may panig po ng Kabikulan. And of course, naglandfall na nga po. Kaya po, ingat-ingat po tayo sa mga biyahero at mga nakikinig sa atin sa Radyo 5. Doon naman po sa mga nanonood sa kanilang mga bahay sa pamamagitan ng 1PH at of course sa Facebook Live ng 1PH, Radyo 5 at of course ng Power and Play. Magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat. Alam nyo, ang masarap pagka bumabagyo, yung pong medyo hihilata, hihilata lang at may konting kape o kaya ay almusal, sabayan nyo na lang ho ng pagpapakinig dito po sa Power and Play at tayo po ay maghuhuntahan tungkol sa mga balita ng palakasan. Pero isa lang po aking again uulitin mag-ingat po tayong lahat. Kung wala naman po tayong mahalagang pupuntahan, tayo po ay na lang, sa bahay na lang po at magpahinga. Pagkakataon po nating magpahinga ng mahaba-haba. Doon naman po sa mga nagbabakasyon, mag-ingat po tayo. Kung medyo malakas ang alon sa beach, wag na po tayong lumabas muna at masyadong marami pong warning na binibigay sa atin ng Pag-asa. Kaya po tayo po ay magkaroon na ng personal vigilance. Of course, dito po sa ating palatuntunan, marami po tayong tututukan ngayong araw na ito. Mamaya po ating makakasama ang dalawang player mula sa Petro Gas Angels ng Premier Volleyball League. Mamaya po may laban ng Petrogas kontra F2 Logistics. Pero atin pong nakasama kanina or nung isang gabi po, ang dalawa nilang manlalaro si Grethcel Soltones at si Lindsey Vander Weide, yung kanila pong import. At kami po ay maganda ang aming naging kwentuhan tungkol sa napakagandang pagsisimula ng Petrogas sa PVL. Andyan din po, of course, mamaya ang ating makakausap. Kagabi, medyo minalas at tinambakan ng TNT Tropang Giga. Nakakasama rin po natin si Coach Chot Reyes ng TNT Tropang Giga at ng Gilas Pilipinas. Marami po tayo na pag-usapan tungkol sa PBA and of course sa paghahanda ng Gilas Pilipinas para sa fourth window ngayong pong buwan na papasok, yung pong buwan ng Nobyembre. Dalawang away game yan mga kapatid, laban sa Saudi Arabia at saka sa Jordan. At mamaya po ay meron tayong konting pagbabalita mula kay Coach Chot Reyes. Sa ating slam book, atin pong itatampok ang isang hindi masyadong kilalang sport, yung pong Sambo. Hindi po to samba, Sambo. Ito po ay isang martial arts na sport na hango po sa mga Ruso. At ito po ay nilalaro na ng mga Pilipino at gumaganda na po ang ating performance dito sa Sambo. Isa pong martial arts at ating pong makakasama mamaya ang mga opisyal at atleta ng Pilipinas Sambo Federation. Mamaya po yan sa ating slam book. And of course, abangan nyo ang ating paboritong fast take. So, ngayong umuulan, bagay ang kape, bagay ang almusal, sabayan nyo na po ng Power and Play at simulan na natin sa pamamagitan ng ating Sports Weekly Highlights.
Power and Play with Noli Iyala.
Unahin na natin po ang pagbabalik ng ating player na si Jack Animam. Jack Animam is back at dahil dyan, balik national team na rin siya matapos makarecover sa ACL injury sa kanyang kaliwang tuhod. Sumama na sa training ng Gilas Women's si Animam nitong Lunes bilang paghanda para sa 2023 Southeast Asian Games. Target ng former Lady Bulldog star player na tulungan ang pambansang koponan sa biennial meet sa Cambodia. Parte rin ng tuloy-tuloy niyang recovery para makabalik sa kanyang Serbian squad. Sa ibang Gilas news, naglalaro na po si William Navarro sa PBA. Pumirma ng 2 conference deal sa Northport, Batangpier ang national team forward. Nakakuha ng 14 points sa 6-for-14 shooting si Navarro sa kanyang debut pero kinulang yan sa 104-86 defeat ng Batangpier. Matatandaang lalaro dapat sa Korea si Navarro pero hindi siya nabigyan ng clearance ng FIBA dahil sa kontrata niya sa national team. Pinangalanan na ang 20-man pool ng Gilas Pilipinas para sa November window ng FIBA World Cup qualifiers. Kasama dyan sina Japet Aguilar, Powe Eram, June Mar Fajardo, Ange Kwame, Francis Lopez, Jamie Malonzo, Will Navarro, Chris Newsom, Calvin Oftana, Ray Parks, CJ Perez, RR Pogoy, Kevin Kiambao, Dwight Ramos, 30 Ravenna, Kiefer Ravenna, Kai Soto, Carl Tamayo, Arvin Tolentino, at Scotty Thompson. Good luck sa ating national team sa basketball. Sa PBA naman, ginulat ng Converge ang talk and text sa kanilang bakbakan sa Commissioner's Cup. Tambak na 131-117 ang pinalasap ng Fiber Xers sa Tropang Giga para itulak ang kanilang winning streak sa 3. Pumukol ng 38 points si Quincy Miller para sa Young Squad. May combined 42 points naman ang dating Green Archers na sina Jeron Teng at Aljun Melesio. At sa volleyball, pasok na sa semifinals ng PVL Reinforced Conference ang Cherry Tigo. Kasunod yan ng 5-set thriller win nila kontra Army 22-25, 25-18, 25-27, 25-18 at 15-12. Wala pang talo sa 5 laro ang Cherry Tigo. Bumida para sa undefeated squad si Mylene Paat na may 23 points sa 21 attacks, 2 blocks at 12 digs. At yan po ang buod ng ating mga balita sa Sports Weekly Highlights. Naku, talagang napakaganda ng aksyon sa lahat po ng mga sports ngayon. Meron pa yatang laro kahit na medyo bumabagyo. Mamaya may UAAP pa rin yata. At tuloy-tuloy pa rin po ang mga laro of course ng PVL. Mamaya, no? Meron bang PBA? Parang meron na. No? Meron din pag Sabado. Pero ang isa po nating binabantayan of course ay ang mga laro din sa labas ng bansa. Ang isa po dyan ay ang ating pong kababayang si Kaloy Yulo na ngayon ay naghahanda na doon po sa World Artistic Gymnastics Championship sa Liverpool, England. Ipagdasal po natin si Kaloy dahil ito po ay isang hakbang patungo sa kanyang pangarap na makakuha ng gintong medalya sa Olimpiada. At alam ko po ay naroon na siya kasama ng kanyang mga coaches, 2 pong Japanese coaches at of course ang presidente ng Gymnastics Association si Ma'am Cynthia Cariona. Kaya po sana ay ating pong ipagdasal ang ating kababayang si Kaloy Yulo. Isa pa pong nagpakitang gilas kahapon ay ang aking pamangking si Alex Ayala. Naku, pumasok po sa semifinals ng WAT Potiers. Tama yung aking pronunciation Potiers. Potiers France, doon po sa Liga sa France. Siya po ay nakapasok na sa semifinals ng ito po ay $80,000 tournament. At tinalo niya po yung isang Croatian si Ana Konju 6-2, 6-3. At ngayon po ay siya ay lalaban na sa Final Four. At sana nga ay patuloy na magkaroon ng tagumpay at magbigay ng karangalan ang ating kababayang tennis sensation Alex Ayala. Of course, ang isa pa natin pong tinututukan ay ang mga laro sa NBA. Naku, sangkaterbang laro na naman ito. 11 laro ang magaganap po ngayong araw na ito sa kasalukuyan. Lumalamang na ang Philadelphia sa Toronto Raptors at lumalamang din po ang Atlanta Hawks kontra Detroit Pistons. Pero ang isang koponan na talagang medyo nagkakaproblema sa NBA at marami pong Pilipino ang sumusubaybay dito ay ang koponan ng Los Angeles Lakers ni LeBron James, Anthony Davis at Russell Westbrook. Alam mo, fan favorite itong Lakers ng mga Pinoy sabagat napakarami pong Pilipino dyan po sa lugar ng Los Angeles. At marami nagsasabi na dapat ito ay contender. Pero sa kasalukuyan mga kapatid, hanggang ngayon, wala pa po silang panalo. At sila po ngayon ay naglalaro sa Minnesota na isa na namang malakas na koponan. Kaya hindi po malayo na itong Lakers ay talagang patuloy na bumaksak sa team standings ng NBA. Although maaga pa naman, wala pa po tayo sa critical na portion. Pero marami na rin na nababahala sa nangyayari sa LA Lakers. So ang tanong ko po, ano ba nangyari dito talaga sa Lakers? Kaya ito ho ang ating pupulsuhan ngayong araw pong ito sa Pulso ng Bayan. Ang tanong saan ba ho nagkamali ang Lakers management, ang LA Lakers management, kaya napunta ang Lakers sa current predicament ng kanilang koponan? Ulitin ko po yan. Sa tingin niyo po, maraming ginawang hakbang ang Lakers management. Kinuha nila si LeBron nung una. Kinuha nila si Davis at napakaraming players ang binitawan. At of course, may mga hindi po sila kinuhang mga player na dapat ay maglalaro sa kanila. And then of course, si Russell Westbrook ang isa sa tinuturong problema ng Lakers. Kaya ang tanong po, saan nagkamali ang LA Lakers management kaya napunta sila sa current predicament ng kanilang koponan? Mag-text lamang po sa aming hotline 0908-208-0629 o di kaya ay mag-comment sa Facebook page ng Power and Play at sa 1PH at Radyo 5. Mamaya po, babasahin ko ang inyong mga komentaryo. Ulitin ko po yan mamaya. Babasahin ko yung inyong mga comments. Alright, mga kaibigan, bago po tayo magpatuloy sa ating unang guests, isa lang pong pagbabalik muli kasi medyo last week hindi tayo nakapag-promo. Pero ito po muling nagbabalik ang top-up promo ng Joyride Super App dito po sa Power and Play. Napakadali lamang po. Download the latest version ng Joyride Super App. Kuhanan nyo po ng screenshot yung app's home screen kasama ng inyong pangalan na dapat po account name dun sa screenshot. Padala nyo po yung screenshot sa aming Facebook page ng Power and Play via private message. Isama nyo po inyong pangalan at registered mobile number on the Joyride account at 5 lucky winners ang aming pipiliin na mananalo ng 1,000 pesos JR Pay wallet credits mula sa Joyride Super App. Ulitin ko po yan 1,000 e-wallet credits, hindi po cash yan e-wallet credits or JR Pay wallet credits mula sa Joyride Super App. Naku, magagamit niyo po yan sa kanyang mga delivery, sa inyo pong motorcycle taxi na pagbiyahe o di kaya ay sa aming Joyride car. Alright mga kaibigan, let's go! Simula na po tayo sa ating paboritong portion dito kung saan ang mahalaga ang opinyon ng mga taong nasa likod ng balita. Ito po ang ating Fast Take.
Power and Play with Noli Iyala.
At ang Fast Take ay hatid sa inyo ng Cherry Tigo. It's fun to drive. At ngayong araw pong ito, maswerte po tayo na ating makakasama kahit bumabagyo. Naku mukhang isa pa lang. Hindi, papasok na yan. Ang ating pong makakasama, walang iba kundi si Philip Mattel ng Rappler.com at maya-maya ay siguro mahahabol na si Homer Saison ng Spin.ph. Philip, magandang umaga. Thank you for joining us this morning kahit bumabagyo.
Magandang umaga, Noli. Salamat ulit sa pagkakataon na
Alam ko, medyo malakas ba ang ulan? Nagsisimula na ba dyan sa lugar mo, Philip?
Hindi pa masyadong umuulan dito, Noli, pero matindi na yung makulimlim na ang panahon at nagsuspend na ng klase ang kalapit naming paaralan dito.
Ganoon. Talaga. Pambira talaga. Talagang mag-iingat ka. Butit wala kang plano ngayon na wala ka sa out of town, Philip, ha?
Wala. Noli, magko-cover pa sana ako ng UAAP pero titingnan natin yung panahon.
Pero ano ba? Tuloy pa rin ang UAAP mamaya. Hindi pa naman postpone.
Hindi pa naman kasi naglalaro na yung women's basketball as we speak.
All right. Well, talking about the UAP, Philip, ano ba sa tingin mo ang kasi napakaganda ng team standings at may mga sorpresa diyan, ano? And of course, the biggest surprise is LaSalle kung the way medyo bumababa ang kanilang ranking. Ano ba ang tingin mo dito? Sa tingin mo ba patuloy na magpapatuloy dito ang UP at saka NU and of course Ateneo at ang LaSalle kaya makahabol?
Sa tingin ko medyo mahirap yung ma-decide pa yung fourth spot kasi maraming lalaban dyan. Nandyan yung Adamson, nandyan yung LaSalle, nandyan ang surprise team, ang UE. Gumagaling sila behind their yung tatlo nilang Phil-Am.
Oo.
Pero sa tingin ko yung tatlong spot dapat ma-secure na ito ng NU, ng Ateneo at saka ng UP. Magiging maganda ang Final Four ngayon dahil may sinasabi silang parity among the teams na involved dito sa race.
Again, marami naghahambing dun sa parity ng collegiate leagues and of course, inihahambing yan sa pro league natin ng PBA. Ano ang nagiging susi? Malaki bang bagay yung the fact na, well, I guess, merong konting regulations ang collegiate league kaya medyo ang mga kabataan yung talent ay nasi-spread out. Ano sa tingin mo doon, Philip, sa factor na 'yon?
Tama kayo, Noli. Sa tingin ko yung nagkakaroon ng regulation sa collegiate leagues and yung pride na nakuha nila sa school dahil lahat naman dito sa 8 schools ay marami ang sumusuporta sa kanila. Kahit anong piliin nila, hindi sila magkakamali dahil ang buong paaralan ay nakatayo sa likod nila at nag-cheer at nanonood.
Alright. Oo, talagang yun ang kagandahan ng UAAP. Even the NCAA for that matter. Sapagkat hindi natin alam mga kapatid kung sino talaga ang maaaring manalo. Kaya medyo very unpredictable ang mga laro. Kaya naman ang takbo ika nga ng liga ay kapanapanabik. Kaya naman medyo talagang maganda ang bakbakan sa UAP. One more question, Philip, na gusto ko. I mean, talking about the PBA, no? Lately, kagabi, nakita natin ang pag-angat ng Converge kontra TNT. And hindi simpleng panalo, talagang tinambakan nila ang isang koponan na napakalakas. Ano ang big factor? Si Aldin Ayo ba to? I mean, let's go straight to the point. Si Aldin Ayo ba ang talagang nagdadala at anong nakikita mong pagbabago na nagawa ni Aldin Ayo sa Converge? Kaya naman sila all of a sudden ay umaangat.
Masasabi ko na may big factor ang pagdating ni Aldin Ayo sa Converge kaya ito gumagaling dahil nag-shift ito ng offense Komnoli.
Oo nga.
Kasi for dun sa huling conference ay more on mid-range shots inside, hindi masyado maganda yung spacing. At ngayon ay nag-increase, matindi ang pag-increase ng volume ng 3-point attempts ng Converge. At mabuti para sa kanila ay nagpapasok nga ang mga outside shots sila. Katulad kahapon sa TNT, talagang pinaulan na nila ng outside shots.
Oo. At saka nakabupon ako very quick ang offense nila. Pagbaba, tira kagad Wala na yung hindi na nila pinapaset ang depensa. Actually, nasusurpresa ang depensa. Well, of course, maswerte sila at magandang pumapasok ang tira. But that has been a change, no? Yung pace ng Converge, napakabilis ng laro nila. Ang ganda ng depensa. Of course, nakikita pa rin natin yung remnants nung tinatawag na kayong, ano tawag doon?
Mayhem.
Mayhem ni Aldin Ayo, no? So talagang kahit papaano yung innovation na dinadala ni Coach Aldin sa PBA, nakakatuwa at very refreshing para sa ating liga. Alright, mukhang medyo nagkakaproblema lang si Homer, kaya tuloy na natin ang mga issues ngayong umaga, Philip, para sa ating fast take. At alam mo naman ang ating drill dito, walang mali, walang tama, bato-bato sa langit, tamaan, huwag magagalit. Ito po si Philip Matel, mga kaibigan ng Rappler.com. At ang ating unang tanong, Philip, ito ay tungkol sa plano na pagpapatupad ng challenge system sa PBA. Kaya ang tanong, gaano kalaki sa PBA ang pagkakaroon ng challenge system na sabi ni Com Willie ay kanilang ipapatupad na sa susunod na taon? I'll give you 1 minute, Philip. Go!
Komnoli, napakagandang opportunity nito para sa PBA, lalo na sa mga player at coach na maiwasan ang hindi pagkakaunawaan dahil sa mga maling tawag na referee. Yeah. Tulad ng sa NBA at sa UAP, maganda ang maidudulot nito upang maibsan ang ilang agam-agam sa mga tawag at mag-serve bilang checks and balances sa desisyon ng hukom ng court. Dahil dito, mabibigyan ng pagkakataon na maitama ang nakita nilang pagkakamali ng referee na alam naman natin ay hindi rin perpekto. Sakayan din ako dun sa sinabi ni Coach Yeng na mababawasan sinasabing quote-unquote na intimidation factor na kinakaharap ng referee sa mga mas malalaking mga teams like the SMC and the MVP block. Magkakaroon din ito ng semblance of parity o kaya pagkakapantay-pantay dahil magkakaroon ng say ang mga coach sa kung paano tinatawag ang laro. Ito rin ay isang pagkakataon na maging mas masiyasat ang ating mga referee sa kanilang mga tawag. So, panghuli, hindi na bali tumagal ang laro basta tama ang kanilang tinatawag.
Very good point. Alam mo, gusto ko yung puntong yon na may mga nagrereklamo matagal daw. Pero hindi bali mo matagal, basta tama. Oh, tama-tama. Talking about tama, andito na si Homer Saison mula sa Chicago. Magandang umaga, Homer.
Magandang umaga, Commissioner. I'm sorry I'm late. Malaking breaking news after the show sa UAAP and including...
i-break mo na. After fast take, i-break mo na para sa akin. Para ano.
Okay, Commissioner, here it is.
Oh.
2 days ago, the FIBA wrote the SBP informing it that Shani Winston has been approved to play as a local.
Wow! Magandang balita yan.
For some reason, SBP has been withholding that information to the public and then released the list of the 20-man pool. But wala si Sean Winston doon. Oh. We will go into detail.
No, babe. Abangan natin yan, Homer. Abangan natin. Alam natin si Shawnee Winston, one of the best perimeter jump shooters sa UAAP. In fact, I think one of the top scorers ng UAAP sa kasalukuyan para sa De La Salle Green Archers. Homer, ito na, medyo tatanungin kita about our issues now. Ito ang una kong issue na binato kay Philip, no? Gaano kalaki sa para sa PBA ang pagkakaroon ng challenge system na gusto nilang ipatupad sa susunod na taon. Medyo, I'll give you 1 minute, Homer. Go!
Well, it's huge, Commissioner. Number one, it keeps the PBA with the times. It had modernized the league. What the PBA was doing was a crime against technology. Ibang ang mga league, meron ng replay, but why was there no instant replay? So, this is good for the league. Number two, tama si Philip. It puts the referees on their toes. Now, no more magic calls, no more mga suspicious calls. Without the instant replay, Commissioner, the judgment call has been abused. Kasi nga, walang replay. They can just say, call a judgment call in favor of one team that they allegedly favor. So, mamawala na yan. It keeps the referees, again, on their toes na, hey, kung magkamali tayo, may instant replay na, mapapahiya na tayo. In this age of social, those things can be exposed. So, maganda to, Commissioner. Remember, it's about time. The PBA is the only big league that is not sanctioned by FIBA. And I hope this is a step in the right direction na, you know,
Alright. Medyo naputol si Homer doon. Konting technical difficulties, but I got his point. You know, tama yun eh. It is a... nakuha ko yun, Homer. Tama ka na talagang this is a crime against technology. And, you know, I've always believed na sports has to go with the technology that is now available, no? In many sports, ang dami na pong teknolohiya na ginagamit para palakasin ang performance ng mga atleta. At yan po yung aming tinitingnan nga sa Philippine Sports Commission. And I think this is something that Philippine sports has to be open itself up. Lalong-lalo na isang pro league katulad ng PBA. And I'm just happy na masisimulan na nila ang kanilang instant replay or challenge system next year. Alright, let's go to our second issue of the morning. And I'll begin with you, Homer. Alam natin na si Jordan Clarkson ang ating naturalized player. Sana nga hindi. Sana local pero naturalized pa rin. Pero ngayon ay may mga planong mag-naturalize ng iba. So ang tanong, sino ang preference mo na maging naturalized player pagkatapos ni Jordan Clarkson? I'll begin with you, Homer. 1 minute. Go!
I like Cam Oliver. I mean, the Gilas seems to be interested with him. Coach Chot Reyes has seen him, obviously being his import. But I like what I'm seeing. 20 years old, Commissioner, the tour of duty will be longer, the term of service will be longer kasi bata pa. He's 6'8", he has the size. Given how Japan and Jordan had abused us and New Zealand abused us on the boards, we can use the size of Cam Oliver. Cam Oliver is averaging 31 points and 12 rebounds a game, so he can do it on both ends of the floor. And then, of course, Brownlee is a sentimental choice. I have my reservations because he's up there in age, Commissioner, and he's a little bit undersized. But those are the two names. The good thing that Brownlee brings is the availability. Diba? Sometimes availability is better than any talent. Kasi how good can you be to the team if you're not available? So yun, the two teams stand out. But still, the SBP needs to do better job in scouting. We are hearing the same names. Tama. Jordan Clarkson, the same names that we can get. Be realistic, get the players you can get, and I think Cam Oliver is the guy.
Excellent point. Ako, I agree with that. I mean, bakit tayo napapalimit dun lamang sa mga import na ating napapanood dito? I mean, kulang ata ang ating networking. Philip, same question pagkatapos ni Clarkson. Sino ang preference mo na maging naturalized player ng Gilas Pilipinas? 1 minute, Philip. Go!
I agree with Sir Homer. Ang nakikita kong next in line sa preference ay kung maihabol ang naturalization ay si TNT import Cameron Oliver. Again, he's just 26. Malaking bagay na magkaroon tayo ng player na meron ng NBA, Australian League at saka Philippine basketball experience. Maganda naman ang pinapakita ni Cameron Oliver na 6'8 niya with averages of 31.5 points, 13 rebounds and 3.7 assists ngayon sa PBA Commissioner's Cup. Kahit na mas maliit siya ng bahagya kay 6'10" Ange Kwame, ay sa tingin ko, if ever makapaglaro siya ngayon, ay mas makakatulong si Oliver kaysa kay Ange Kwame dahil nagre-recover pa rin ang Ateneo Center sa kanyang knee injury. Si Cameron Oliver, napatunayan na natin na may scoring sa loob at sa labas at sanay nang makalaro. Ang marami sa kino-consider ng Gilas na samahang basketball Pilipinas sa kanilang pool. Ito rin ay tinatawag nating investment dahil makakapaglaro pa siya sa loob ng mahabang panahon at just 26. He could play for up to 10 years for the Philippines.
Alright, well, natumbok mo rin, Philip, yung punto na about Ange Kwame na, of course, ginawa nating naturalized pero hindi natin nagagamit ng husto. But in my interview with Chot, and mamaya papalabas natin yan, sinabi niya kung ano yung mga plano at kung bakit sila ay naggumagawa ng pool ng mga naturalized players. But again, in so far as our options are concerned, I think Cam Oliver is of course nandyan. But I still believe na mas marami pang pwede nating mahanap at makita kung tayo ay talagang gagamit lamang ng tamang resources para sa pag-scout ng ating susunod na naturalized player. Wag nating sayangin. Wag natin din paglaruan po ang batas because being a Filipino citizen, the naturalization process sa Kongreso, hindi po dapat yan pinaglalaruan. Yan po ay sagrado at mahalaga na ang ating ipapasa ay talagang makakatulong sa ating bansa. Let's go to our third and final issue of the morning. Ito ay tungkol sa NBA. Nako. Sabi ko nga, ang dami ng mga laro. There will be 11 games today. At may mga koponan na naglaro, naghahanap ng panalo. May mga koponan na ayaw matalo. So ang tanong, so far, Philip, sino ang most surprising at most disappointing ng mga teams sa NBA? 1 minute, Philip. Go!
Ang nakita kong most surprising team thus far this season ay walang iba kundi ang Utah Jazz. Sa pangunguna ni Coach Will Hardy, ng kanila leading scorer, Lauri Markkanen, kababayan nating si Jordan Clarkson at marami pang ibang gritty performances ang nakikita natin sa team na ito. Kabilang na ang isang 4-1 na kartada. Alam naman natin na ang pakay ng Utah Jazz sa pangunguna ni Danny Ainge ay makuha si Victor Wembanyama o kaya si Scottie Henderson next year sa draft. At malamang doon pa rin ang takbo pero maganda na ipakita nilang umpisa na hindi sila nagpapatalo. At ang most disappointing team naman sa aking opinion ay ang Philadelphia 76ers.
Aray!
Sa team na may Joel Embiid, MVP na James Harden at saka Tyrese Maxey, sino ba mag-aakala na bagsak sila sa 1-4 na record? Pero mukhang malaki ang lamang nila ngayon sa Toronto. Hindi maganda ang umpisa ng laro usually at habulan na nagiging tema ng laro ng Philadelphia. Pag lumagpak ang umpisa, nawawala na sila. Babay na ba, Doc Rivers?
Nice one. Nice one. Sabi ko sa aking isang tweet, no time to panic. Pero sa likod ng aking isipan, ako po, ba't ganito na naman ang aking paggising? Homer, same issue. Sino ang most surprising at most disappointing teams so far sa NBA? Homer, are you with us? Already. Okay, 1 minute, Homer. Go.
Maybe, I don't know Philip. I'm familiar with his work. He's a good guy. I follow. He's a very good writer. But I think we're kindred spirits, Commissioner, because we are the same.
Oh, wow.
Ito yung notes ko.
Oh, yeah. Nawawala ng bahagya si Homer. Homer, medyo mahina ang kanyang network at this moment, ha? At mukhang naghang si Homer. But sabi nga niya, pareho kayo, Philip, ni Homer, ng pipiliin ata. Pareho kayong Utah Jazz at saka Philadelphia 76ers. Napakasakit naman talaga. Pero ako, I agree. I totally agree, no? Mukhang nawala na si Homer. I totally agree. Talagang napakaganda na pinapakita ng Utah Jazz. Alam mo, the other team that surprises me are the Cleveland Cavaliers. I mean, they made some changes, of course. Pumasok si Donovan Mitchell. He's a great player. No doubt they're a better team now. Andyan ulit si Homer. Homer, please complete your discussion. Audio lang, audio. Mukhang nawala sa audio. Nakamute. Yan. Go ahead, Homer. Mukhang nawawala talaga. Nawawala yung signal ni Homer Saison. Galing po, nasa Chicago po si Homer, ha? But anyway, we'll try to get, mukhang nawawala talaga. But as I mentioned, no, you're right, Philip. Talagang Utah. I think Cleveland has also done very well. On the disappointment side, of course, I'm still surprised with the Milwaukee Bucks, with the way they are continuing to be very consistent sa kanilang laro. On the other hand, talagang masakit yung nangyayari sa Philadelphia. Akala ko talagang they will be challenging. In fact, I think the NBA believes na sila ay cha-challenge, no? dahil silang ginawang opening day game. Andito na uli si Homer. Homer? Ayan yan. Okay, Homer, go. Mahina talaga. Santi, mukhang problema natin. Anyway, pasalamatan natin si Homer mamaya at sana let's get Homer back para mas marami tayong mapag-usapan. But Philip, maraming salamat sa panahon binigay mo sa amin ngayong umagang ito. Bagamat mabagyo at maulan, nakasama ka namin. Maraming salamat sa pagsama sa aming Fast Take today.
Maraming salamat, Com Noli.
Yan po mga kaibigan, si Philip Mattel ng Rappler and of course si Homer Saison na medyo nagka-problema lang sa kanyang signal ng spin.ph. Again, conversations about sports. Marami pa tayong dapat na mga topic. And I can spend the whole day just talking about lahat po ng mga issues, lalong-lalo na sa mga PBA, UAP, NBA, of course our boxers, ang ating mga tennis players. And of course, dito po sa Power and Play, we are supporting yung mga emerging and developing sports po natin. Alright mga kaibigan, before we take a break, isa lamang pong pasasalamat mula sa Smart. Puso Pilipinas is a movement to celebrate the Filipino athlete powered by Smart. Follow them on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Get a chance to win exclusive Puso Pilipinas merch by sharing their Facebook page in your social media accounts with hashtag Puso Pilipinas. The Giga Life app is the latest mobile app from Smart that lets you discover and enjoy your passions with the different Giga promos. It can be downloaded and used by Smart Postpaid, Smart Prepaid, Bro Prepaid, and TNT subscribers via the Apple or Google Play Store. What can the Giga Life app do for me? Check your balance. Monitor your current subscription, top up using debit credit card. Subscribe to the latest Giga promos, monitor your data consumption, auto-detect your mobile number when you are connected to Smart Network, one-tap subscription to the most popular offer, Giga Video 99. And of course, Power and Play is powered by Smart. Live Smart! Sa amin pong pagbabalik ang ating makakausap at lalagyan natin ng spotlight. Walang iba kung hindi ang Gilas Head Coach, Chot Reyes. Ito po ang Power and Play. Hatid sa inyo ng Cherry Loom, Cherry Tigo, Chooks to Go at ng True Religion. Ang oras po natin 8:37 ng umaga.
I dare to dream big. To be a voice of my generation. To inspire resilience in the face of roadblocks. And in sharing my stories, I let others share in my passion.
Follow Kai's stories on Twitter and share yours. With Smart Double Giga Stories. Share 2 times the passion with 2 gigabytes for Twitter and more. Guaranteed every day, plus data for all sites.
Simple, smart ako.
Okay na, papadala ko sa iyo. Pero hindi pa...
Alex, are you ready to have some fun on your first driving lesson?
Nag-uumapaw sa real chicken juice na swak sa panlasa ng buong pamilya. Available in sweet roast, pepper roast, at harissa roast variants. Chooks to Go. Masarap kahit walang sauce. Tawag na sa Chooks to Go Delivery Hotline 8687-1010 o online sa chookstogodelivery.com or via GrabFood at Foodpanda.
Mukhang kailangan ko na naman palitan ng bubong ko, pare. Mag-iisang taong pa lang yan. May tulo na kagad.
Ay, bossing! Baka naman kasi hindi matibay yung ginamit nyo. Dapat ang gamitin mo ay Cherry Loom, ang yerong aluminum. Basta yero, Cherry Loom. Tibay protektado sa pangmatagalang yero.
Sali na sa masayang bardagulan ng mga Kalye Queens. tuwing Sabado, 8:30pm sa TV5 at Linggo, 8pm sa Sari Sari Channel.
Mukhang kailangan ko na naman palitan ng bubong ko, pare. Mag-iisang taon pa lang yan. May tulo na kagad.
Ay, bossing! Baka naman kasi hindi matibay yung ginamit nyo. Dapat ang gamitin mo ay cherry loom, ang yerong aluminum. Basta yero, cherry loom. Tibay protektado sa pangmatagalang yero.
Prepare your heart for an all-out clash as the Premier Volleyball League Invitational Conference. Games every Tuesdays, 2:30pm and 5:30pm. Thursdays and Saturdays, 2:30pm and 9:30pm on One Sports.
Mukhang kailangan ko na naman palitan ng bubong ko, pare. Mag-iisang taon pa lang yan. May tulo na kagad.
Ay, bossing! Baka naman kasi hindi matibay yung ginamit nyo. Dapat ang gamitin mo ay cherry loom, ang yerong aluminum. Basta yero, cherry loom. Tibay protektado sa pangmatagalang yero.
Singgaling na, singkulit pa. Singgaling Kids. Tuwing Sabado, 6pm sa TV5.
Mukhang kailangan ko na naman palitan ng bubong ko, pare. Mag-iisang taon pa lang yan. May tulo na kagad.
Ay, bossing! Baka naman kasi hindi matibay yung ginamit nyo. Dapat ang gamitin mo ay cherry loom, ang yerong aluminum. Basta yero, cherry loom. Tibay protektado sa pangmatagalang yero.
Power and Play. Team na sa Radyo 5 92.3 News FM.
Isang mainit na pagbati po sa aking kaibigan na si Edward De Vera ng isang happy birthday bukas. So, yan ha. Happy birthday! Ward, enjoy your birthday bukas ha. Sana tuloy-tuloy ang malalamig na gabi. Ika nga. Alright mga kaibigan, at this point, ilagay na po natin ang ating ang ating susunod na panauhin sa ating In the Spotlight. At ang ating pong
Power and Play with Noli Iyala.
At ang ating pong ilalagay ngayong araw na to sa In the Spotlight, walang iba kung hindi ang head coach ng TNT Tropang Giga at ng Gilas Pilipinas. Siya po yung ating nakapanayam nung isang araw at marami kami na pag-usapan ni Coach Chot Reyes. Ito po ang aking panayam. At kasama na nga po natin ngayon, Coach Chot Reyes ng Talk and Text Tropang Giga and of course ng Gilas Pilipinas. Magandang araw, Coach. Maraming salamat for joining us today.
Good morning, Chairman. Kung ang tawag ko sa iyo palagi, hindi na nga pwede. Chairman. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. I know you're very busy, so I wanted lang to get an update. But unahin ko muna, of course, ang Tropang Giga. You are currently in the in the top, near the top of the standings at 3-2. But so far, ang mga wins mo, Coach Chot, have been over, I guess, the lower bracketed teams, no? If we put it that way, Northport, Blackwater, of course, rain or shine, isa sa mga malaban yan. And then your losses have been against Magnolia and Lex. Up and down. How do you? Are you satisfied with the start ng TNT sa Commissioner's Cup?
Well, kilala mo naman tayo. We're never satisfied, especially after a couple of losses, right? But I have to say that this was kind of expected because of all the injuries. It's been a very difficult start for us because of every time you start a tournament, kulang-kulang, it's never an ideal situation. So we just made the best out of it. I think we can be disappointed, but we can also be thankful that we are at least above 500 at this point, in spite of all the injuries that we started the tournament with. And of course, we're also appreciative of the fact that we're starting to get that more complete now. As you know, Mike and Jason are back. And we're still missing Glenn Kubuntin and Ryan Reyes big time, of course. But like I said, it's a work in progress. New people on the team, the import, and also Calvin Oftana, and we started very late. Dahil nagpahinga kami after the 7-game series. So, hopefully, ngayon pa lang. In fact, sabi ko nga, yung unang game namin sa Magnolia, that was our very first game. Wala kaming naging tune-up game before that. Yun talaga yung unang sabak namin. So, I guess, one way to look at this is, we can't complain. It could be better, but, we can't complain.
Well, sabi mo nga, ang dami yung injuries, and it's good to hear all of the updates on the injuries. I was actually going to ask you about that, but it's good to hear. Of course, si Soyud is still out, coach, no? Hindi pa rin siya naglalaro.
Yeah, meron siyang calf injury si Soyud.
Calf injury. So again, all those big men na kailangan natin, especially pagdating dito sa ganitong klaseng Commissioner's Cup with imports. But if you look at that, the performance so far ng TNT, anong priority mo, coach, na I guess tutukan in order for you to be more competitive or to be more consistent dito sa Commissioner's Cup?
Number one is game shape. I think the most basic thing is we need to get to game shape where we can really play a solid 48 minutes at the kind of pace that we want. Even up to now, we still haven't played a full 48-minute game the way we want to. So I think that's number one. Number two is just to continue getting to know how to play together with each other. The unfamiliarity of Mikey and Jason's third game with the import. Of course, the import with the rest of the guys is just 5 games in. But also Jason and Mikey with Cam Oliver is just on game 3 now or so. So there's still a lot of getting to know you, the little things. So in terms of priority, that's it. Getting into game shape, number one. Number two, the familiarity. And then number 3, getting everyone back. All of the injuries recovered.
Correct. Well, mukhang mabigat yung listahan na yan, but of course it's a long conference, and there's still time, and we've always known ng TNT. Kumbaga sa kabayo laging rumaratyada pagdating sa dulo. Coach, you've made a lot of significant moves before the conference, and of course ngayon during the conference, and one of them of course is Calvin Oftana, nabanggit mo siya kanina, picking up in a trade back in September. How significant is that move for TNT, not only for this conference na ang daming imports, but also for the future ng TNT?
Well, you hit it right on the head, Chairman, because my job, of course, is to find ways to make the team win now, but also prepare it for the future. And we felt adding a piece like Calvin was an integral part of the future because of his youth, his tremendous upside. Unfortunately, it had to come at the price of a Troy Rosario, who I love very much. But, to get value, you have to give up value. So, yun lang. But we feel that Calvin is going to play a major role. In fact, going to be one of the cornerstones, because we don't have a young team, as you know. We have a team of middle-aged veterans already. So one of our priorities really was to get younger and to find ways to continue to be competitive and to prepare for the future. Ganun ka-importante yung Oftana move for us.
Is it working out the way you had expected? 5 games into the conference, and of course, nakasama mo si Calvin sa Gilas. Is it everything that you had expected, and maybe even more?
To be very honest, we're struggling. He is struggling. In fact, I just had a conversation with him. Kailan ba yung last Gilas Prac? 2 days ago. We had to talk about it, and yeah, he's struggling. We're struggling, but we expected it. We knew that this is a very new situation for him, different expectations, different roles certainly. But the good thing is he's very enthusiastic. The whole team has accepted him wholeheartedly, and I think this is just kumbaga, the birth pains, the small steps that we're taking. But we've certainly seen flashes of brilliance of what he can do and what he can bring to the team. And that's kept us very excited.
All right. Well, the other move, of course, that you've done is signing up Jason Castro until 2025. Obviously, this is a move that is not only for today, but I guess for his future. But Coach Chot, ano ba yan? Yan ba isang kontrata as a reward? Or is that a contract that will still be considered as a utility contract? Ibig sabihin, magagamit mo pa rin siya all the way until his late 30s, kumbaga. Is that the thinking, or talagang it is just really part of the reward that has been given to Jason Castro?
To be very honest, Jason's performance in the finals, particularly in Game 7, was a clincher, really. So he really showed everyone how much he still has left and how much he can still contribute to the team. So syempre, yung reward part is already, hindi naman natin maseseparate yan from it. But it's really testament to the value that we think he can bring, and also the stability. The stability that having a Jason Castro on the team lends to the team, the kind of leadership that he brings as well. So yun ang thinking behind it. We really see that he's got 3 very good years left in his tank.
All right. But how do you see his this particular contract extension in the light of the fact na alam naman natin ipinapasa na rin niya o mismo si Jason kay Mikey Williams yung lead role sa team. How do you see his role now under those circumstances?
Yeah, you put it very well. It's now going to be a 3-year turnover if you want to put it that way. So it's a situation where Jason is already, not only that, he's very instrumental in the games of Kib, Montalvo, JD Tungkab. Talagang as in, making it
mentor.
Intentionally mentoring talaga. Hindi lang yung, dyan ka lang bata sa tabi ko, tignan mo lang yung ginagawa ko. No, it's really intentional mentoring. As in, keeping, setting them aside, talking to them, breaking down every move in practice. They make a specific move. They talk about it. So, talagang mentoring. So, we're at that stage while still being a performer. And that's a conversation that we've had. And like, it's easy for him to just coast and mentor, but we've talked about it and how important he still is in the overall scheme of things. Because while we're developing a Kim Montalvo, you and I know that he's not yet at the elite lead guard level, di ba?
That's
so
right. That's
for us, our lead guard is still Jason Castro. So
correct.
That's the best way, I guess, to put it.
All right. Well, of course, the other major component of your moves is to sign up a Cam Oliver as an import para dito sa conference na to. We've seen so many very, very good imports in the Commissioner's Cup. And of course, Cam Oliver has been talked about as somebody na kinukonsider mi, Coach, na ipapasok natin sa Gilas. Your assessment so far of the performance of Cam Oliver, maybe wag na natin ihambing siya sa iba, but only insofar as he has been playing his role as you had expected.
Yeah, to be very honest, I think there is still a lot that he can improve on. He still has to learn what it takes to be a real good import here in the PBA. Kasi iba yun eh, magaling ka sa ibang liga, but iba yung nandito ka, iba eh. Our demands from our imports are very different. You very well know that, di ba, Chairman? So I think he's still learning that, but he's young. He's 26. He's very coachable, and so we, just like the rest of the team, I think he's going to continue to grow and develop as the more he learns how things are done here. But while if you're going to ask me to rate it at this point, it's perhaps satisfactory. Not bad at all, but could definitely be even much better. And I think like Calvin, I think Cam has a lot of upside yet, and I think he's having started the tournament without our key guys really set him back.
Right.
You know, mahirap sa kanya talaga yung nag-umpisa ng wala doon si Jason, wala sila Mikey, wala si Powe and all of these guys around. So now hopefully when we get the others little by little, hopefully lumabas pa ng gusto yung laro niya.
Anong nakikita mo sa kanya, Coach, kay Cam, na nagugustuhan mo and maybe could also, I'm not saying that siya magiging naturalized player natin, but na siguro makakatulong sa ating national team program?
His utility. He can play bully ball inside. He can go inside. He also has a nice outside touch. He's not a guy na sasabihin mong inside player lang. Hindi mo rin siya masasabing outside player lang. So he has the ability to like I said, go both inside and outside. We like his ability. He has the athleticism to go out and switch on pick and roll. So you know the international game is very heavily ball screen oriented, and we need guys who can step out and guard perimeter guys or point guards of the other teams. And we feel as a big player, he has the ability to do that. So malaking bagay sa atin yun in the overall scheme of things. I know offense is very important, but defense as well. So the ability for him to step out and defend and then also be a force in rebounding, that's going to be very important for us.
Well, you know, pag yun nagsama-sama, and of course, if he gets together with all of your key players in the team, obviously, TNT is again going to be one of those that will be contending. But talking about contending, Coach, traditionally, kayo, San Miguel, Magnolia, and Ginebra have been the traditional 4 teams that make the Final Four, the semifinals, and then doon namimili ng finalists, no, pag mga conference, especially in the last maybe 4 or 5 years. But in this particular conference, there is a team, Bay Area Dragons, that is leading the charge. Converge and Phoenix have come up really strong in the last few games. Do you see a more difficult road? And sa tingin mo ba parang this time it will take more than just the tradition and the reputation to get to the finals?
Most definitely. Bay Area, they've been here since what? But before opening, parang 2 months na sila here, di ba? They played a ton load of tune-up games already. So they were really in game shape and sharp and ready when the tournament started. And it showed. It showed in their games, right? So it's no surprise that they're leading. And for me, we're really looking at them as a formidable obstacle. But we are definitely not looking past Converge and Phoenix, which is incidentally our next 2 games, because they're playing at a very, very high level. They have imports who fit their system very well, and in tournaments like this, malaking bagay yun. Kailangan bagay talaga yung import sa style ng laro mo at sa mga players mo. And I think that's what Converge and Phoenix have. I think Coach Ayo and Coach Topex done a great job in that regard, and we're by no means looking over them, and we are very conscious that this is going to be a very, very difficult tournament. We have no disillusions about that.
Well, mukhang mabigat talaga and ang dadaanan ng lahat ng team actually, because sila naman dadaan din sa inyo, and you know, and so far everyone is still really competing, unfortunately, of course, with Terra Firma, but everyone else has been a tough play for everyone. Before I leave the PBA, Coach, recently nakasama ko si Commissioner Willie dito, and he talked about yung challenge rule that he hopes to implement next year. And you know, ikaw na-interview ka na nga, and you've said very positive things. In fact, Commissioner Willie told me, kasi isa ka sa mga kinonsulta niya about the challenge rule. How extensive do you want the challenge rule? Kumbaga, right, ang ginagawa sa UAP isa lang eh. Do you think that it should be more? Mas marami pa for the coaches? And ano sa tingin mo ang pwedeng reviewin ng challenge rule?
Yeah, I think it has to be very selective. I think one is enough. I don't believe in having more than one, so that the coaches are also very selective in calling the challenge. Obviously, ball possession calls in the end game, block or charge, goaltending or not goaltending, whether I think everything should be open to a challenge. If there was a foul called and you think that your man didn't foul, you should be able to challenge that, and vice versa. If you came in and no foul was called and you think your man was fouled, you should be able to challenge that as well. So sa akin ganon, I think one only, but the coaches should be given leeway on what to challenge. Again, the details, I leave it up to the commissioner's office. But I think the principle is let's limit the challenge so that ayoko rin naman yung hinto ng hinto yung game. Mahaba na. It's that it doesn't make for a good viewer experience either. Diba? And it takes away from the flow and the beauty of the ball game. But still, I think it's time that the coach's challenge takes effect.
All right. Well, before I leave the PBA, I will segue together with the PBA. Next year, alam natin, titigil ang PBA for the FIBA World Cup, for the preparation of the World Cup. And ang Gilas will be given enough time to practice. Ang tanong ko before I ask about Gilas is, anong gagawin mo doon sa mga player mo, Coach? habang merong, are you, look, obviously, matagal ang kanilang pagpapahinga. Is there a plan? Are you looking at putting together some games for your team on TNT?
Yeah, it's kind of difficult because while the team TNT will be on break, I won't be, because me and several players will be with Gilas. So whatever we do as a TNT team, hindi rin kami kumpleto. So that's something that we have to think about. But definitely, in the books is a long rest and recovery. Kasi alam mo naman yun when you're always in the playoffs, especially nga yung mga player namin na sobrang mga bata, they're very young. They really need, at this point in their careers, they really need a lot. They actually, I'll correct myself. They don't need rest. They need an off season. I think now is a time to give them an off season. I think that's going to be good for the entire league as well, to give everyone an off season.
Well, I don't want to touch too much on Gilas dahil alam ko na si ED Sunny has been authorized to talk about Gilas. But I cannot end this conversation without really asking a little bit about that, kasi meron kang window coming up in November, and this is 2 away games against Saudi Arabia and of course Jordan. And you've been quoted as saying that at least kahit nagpa-practice kayo, it's better than nothing, dahil marami kang injuries. How has the practices been, and when do you think na magkakasama-sama kayo, and maybe a real push towards getting the team together?
Well, we're looking at unfortunately for us to be complete, na buo na talaga kami, is only when we get to Jordan. Wow. Because even the Japan players, they won't get here until November 1 and 2. So we have a 3-day period, October 31, November 1 and 2, where all the PBA players can come in and practice, but the Japan players won't be here, and certainly Kai. Of course, we are not making any announcement on Kai until we have his Jordanian visa as well, diba? While so we want to reserve that. But if that happens, I think his last game is the November 6. So after that, didiretso na siya lilipad to Jordan, di na siya dadaan dito. So doon na kami mabubuo. So those are the 3 full days of practice that we're looking at. November 7, 8, 9, where we can finally practice as a full complete team. for the November 10 game against Jordan, whom we all know is a very tough opponent. But I really like the enthusiasm and dedication in our Monday only practices. I think we're getting stuff done, and like I said, there's value to those Monday only practices. At least there is already some things na nailalatag na namin. And anyway, the guys from Japan, they already know a lot of the things we're doing. Kai knows a lot of the things we're doing already. So hopefully those 3 days will be enough for us to get to be able to prepare as best we can for Jordan.
Itong fourth window na to, what part of it are you going to try to use to build your team for the World Cup? Ano ang gusto mong makuha dito, Coach? In preparation for your full, workout and full preparation for the FIBA World Cup?
We were really looking forward to having Kai and Junmar play together. Kasi hindi pa nangyari yun. And the problem na injured si Junmar eh. So that was one big piece. I was really looking forward to having Kai, Junmar, and Ange Kwame together in the team.
Wow.
So unfortunately, that's not going to happen now because we have the reality of injuries. So those little things that we haven't had an opportunity or the chance to try ever yet in the past. And that's the value in these windows, right? So yung mga ganung pagkakataon. And then aside from that is again continuing to develop the other pieces of the newer guys coming in. But yun talaga, if you're going to ask me the one thing that we were looking forward to, it was having that sana.
RJ Abarientos has been playing very, very well in Korea. Is he going to get an invite? What are your thoughts about RJ? Is he something that is still in your radar? Somebody that's still in your radar?
Yeah, all of them pool members are still in the radar, but not for this. But for now, we want to go to take a look at the guys that we have currently, the guys who are practicing now. Kasi sila yung nagpa-practice na, di ba? So we want to take a look at that, and we all know what RJ can do, what SJ Belangel can do, and all of those guys. So now it's time to take a look at the others. We've had only, ako personally, I've had 2 games with Scotty Thompson palang and those guys. So now we're looking forward to having CJ Perez in the mix, to having CJ Perez included in that mix. So when you do that, some guys have to take a backseat muna, di ba? So para makita natin muna how these guys are doing, because as much as we want to, hindi naman pwedeng lahat sila nandun. So that's what we are looking at now.
Well, as a final question here, Coach, yung naturalization situation, alam natin, Ange is already naturalized, and now we have the SBP, sinabihan na nga sila ng Kongreso to start filing the papers. If you are to be asked, how does Justin Brownlee and Cam Oliver compare? And in terms of their skill set, in terms of their, familiarity, who would you like to go in terms of preference first? Kung isa-isa lang ang hihingin sa iyo ng Kongreso.
Yeah, so the entire thinking behind having backup naturalized players is because there's a lot of tournaments that we are competing in, and as you know, Jordan Clarkson is not always going to be available, and Justin Brownlee has actually said that he's willing to come in, make himself available, knowing fully well that it is a backup role, and he's very accepting of that role, and that makes it a perfect situation for us. And same thing rin kay Cam Oliver. Alam naman niya that he's going to be called upon when needed, and so it's a good situation for us. So when we have a Southeast Asian Games, for example, or the Asian Games after the World Cup, then we know that we have other options on the table aside from Jordan Clarkson and Ange Kwame. So yun lang yun. It gives us more flexibility. And then we'll make the decision pag malapit na yung tournament, because we won't know also the situation of those players, di ba? Do they have other tournaments? Do they have other commitments? So, but the fact that marami tayo, that we now have options, I think it's going to make us more competitive.
Well, ang dami mong kailangan pag-isipan, Coach. Yan po mga kaibigan ang ating panayam with Coach Chot Reyes. Again, napakaraming kailangan gawin para sa Gilas Pilipinas. It's good that they have options like this. And of course, napag-usapan din yan tungkol sa token desk. Kahapon, tinalo po sila ng Converge na kinakatakutan ni Coach Chot nung nakausap ko siya. So, obviously, talagang napakabigat ng laban patungo sa finals ng Commissioner's Cup. Alright, bago tayo mag-break mga kapatid, silipin muna natin ang ating mga viral videos at pop culture sa mundo ng palakasan sa Stop and Pop.
Power and Play with Noli Iyala.
Sa ating Stop and Pop ngayong araw pong ito po ay siguro pagsilip sa isang makikilala nating tunay na Spider-Man. Panoorin po natin ito ha. Itong mamang ito, walang harness, walang mga kung ano-anong equipment, parang yung kamay ay nakadikit, ha? Para talagang may pandikit ito, parang Spider-Man, talagang taking bouldering to the next level ang peg ni Kuya. Pinapanood nyo pa lang, sumasakit na ang braso ko. Siguro magaling ito sa akyat bahay. At yan po ang ating Stop and Pop moment sa Power and Play. When we come back, ang ating pong sisilipin ay ang sport ng Sambo. And of course, sa ating second hour mamaya, Petro Gas Angels ang ating makakausap din, si Grethcel Soltones at si Lindsey, Vander, Weide. Sa Power and Play, hatid sa inyo ng Cherry Loom, Cherry Tigo, Chooks to Go at ng True Religion. Ang oras po natin, 11 minutes past the hour of 9.
I dare to dream big, to be a voice of my generation, to inspire resilience in the face of roadblocks. And in sharing my stories, I let others share in my passion.
Follow Kai's stories on Twitter and share yours with Smart Double Giga Stories. Share 2 times the passion with 2 gigabytes for Twitter and more. Guaranteed every day, plus data for all sites.
Simple, smart ako.
Alex, are you ready to have some fun on your first driving lesson?
Nag-uumapaw sa real chicken juice na swak sa panlasa ng buong pamilya. Available in sweet roast, pepper roast, at harissa roast variants. Chooks to Go. Masarap kahit walang sauce. Tawag na sa Chooks to Go Delivery Hotline 8687-1010 o online sa chookstogodelivery.com or via GrabFood at Foodpanda.
Kailangan ko na naman palitan ng bubong ko, pare. Mag-iisang taong pa lang yan. May tulo na kagad.
Ay, bossing! Baka naman kasi hindi matibay yung ginamit nyo. Dapat ang gamitin mo ay Cherry Loom, ang yerong aluminum. Basta yero, Cherry Loom. Tibay protektado sa pangmatagalang yero.
The country's much-awaited Premier Volleyball League Reinforced Conference 2022 are back in action beginning October 8th, Saturday, only here on One Sports.
Mukhang kailangan ko na naman palitan ng bubong ko, pare. Mag-iisang taong pa lang yan. May tulo na kagad.
Ay, bossing! Baka naman kasi hindi matibay yung ginamit nyo. Dapat dapat ang gamitin mo ay cherry loom, ang yerong aluminum. Basta yero, cherry loom, tibay protektado sa pangmatagalang yero.
May namiss ka bang mga shoot, pasa at hiyawan? Ngayon, hindi na! Dahil araw-araw mo nang mapapanood ang mga paborito mong sports program sa TV. Watch us on these channels. Free TV Channel 41, Signal TV Channel 6, Sky Cable Channel 59. One Sports! Ito ang go-to tambayan for your favorite sports programs. Dito ka na sa paboritong tambayan mo pagdating sa sport.
Mukhang kailangan ko na naman palitan ng bubong ko, pare. Mag-iisang taong pa lang yan. May tulo na kagad.
Ay, bossing! Baka naman kasi hindi matibay yung ginamit nyo. Dapat ang gamitin mo ay cherry loom, ang yerong aluminum. Basta yero, cherry loom, tibay protektado sa pangmatagalang yero.
Broadcasting live from TV5 Media Center. 25,000 watts ng balita, impormasyon, serbisyo. DWFM Radyo 5 92.3 News FM
Power and Play. Team na sa Radyo 5 92.3 News FM.
Bago po tayo magpatuloy, isa lamang po muling pasasalamat sa lahat ng tagapagtaguyod ng Power and Play. Marami po salamat sa Cherry Loom, ang yerong may aluminum. Sa ganitong pabago-bago ang panahon, mga kapatid, sa sobrang init tapos biglang uulan, kailangan natin ng matibay at protektadong bubong. Dapat ang bubong ay yerong may aluminum. Kapag may aluminum, tsak na pang matagalan. At isa lang ang alam kong kalidad na yerong may aluminum, yan ang Cherry Loom, tibay protektado sa pang matagalang yero. Cherry Loom, ang yerong may aluminum.
Thank you!
Cherry Tiggo 8 Pro. How neat it is to have a 7-seater SUV that has a powerful engine, world-class safety standards, and the latest tech features. Bet you didn't know that the all-new Cherry Tiggo 8 Pro has all these features and more at a very affordable price range. Cherry Tiggo 8 Pro is equipped with a 1.6 turbocharged gasoline direct injection engine, an advanced driver assistance system, and 12 other safety features including rear cross traffic assist, adaptive cruise control, and intelligent high beam control. The flagship Tiggo 8 Pro allows you more control of the wheel. What's great is you can also join the green revolution with the Cherry Tiggo 8 Pro plug-in hybrid electric vehicle or PHEV. So book a test drive now via www.cherryauto.ph or visit a Cherry dealership near you.
Thank you!
Chooks to Go, ang nag-iisang manok ng bayan. Subukan ang kanilang pinakabagong oven-roasted chicken na mas pinasarap dahil sa nag-uumapaw na flavorful chicken juice. Try also Chooks, the first dine-in restaurant ng Chooks to Go. Chooks to Go, ang nag-iisang manok ng bayan.
Thank you!
True religion is in the Philippines, where passion meets power. Experience it firsthand. For your best style choices, visit True Religion at Conrad S. Maison Mall of Asia Complex, Resorts World Manila, and Hacienda Designer Outlet in Silang, Cavite. True Religion, where passion meets power.
Thank you!
Joyride, ang bago ninyong kasundo. Magpadala with confidence kahit para sa negosyo o personal bulk deliveries man yan. Kayang-kaya yan i-deliver securely with Joyride. And of course, patuloy po niyong subukan ang aming motorcycle taxi service at ang pinakabagong offering ng Joyride, ang Joyride Car. So download the latest Joyride Super App now.
Thank you!
Elms Seafood Paluto, the latest offering of the Elms Resto Bar Group, located at Unit 2, Ground Floor, Calle Bistro, Ever Commonwealth, Quezon City. Enjoy their delectable seafood menu in a relaxed casual dining atmosphere for your salo-salo seafood meal. Elms Seafood Paluto.
Thank you!
Skin, your face and body anti-aging center with branches at Alabang Town Center and Green Hill San Juan. For your skin assessments and treatment schedule, call 0917-890-1640 or 0977-809-8886.
Thank you!
ASEA Subic Beach Resort. Experience the getaway that you deserve and dive into limitless happenings, rejuvenating experiences, and gastronomic adventures. ASEA Subic Beach Resort.
Thank you!
And of course, Power and Play is powered by Smart. Live smart!
Thank Thank you!
Maraming salamat po. Alam niyo po kamakailan, itong linggong ito pala ha, marami po tayong nagawa sa Philippine Sports Commission. Unahin ko na po ang aking pasasalamat sa pamunuan ng Armed Forces of the Philippines, ang Philippine National Police at ng Philippine Coast Guard. Noong pong Martes, nagkaroon po sila ng pagtatapos ng AFP, PNP at PCG Olympics dyan po sa Camp Aguinaldo kung saan tayo po ay naging panauhin. And again, my thanks to General Bartolome Vicente Bacaro, ang AFP Chief of Staff, si General Canlas, ang Commanding General ng Philippine Armed Forces, at marami pa pong iba ng mga major services. Marami po salamat and congratulations to all the winners. Nakasama rin po natin noong isang araw naman ang Governor ng Ilocos Sur, si Governor Jerry Singson, kung saan sila po ay kami po ay nagpirmahan ng amin pong agreement para gawing host ang Ilocos Sur ng Batang Pinoy, ang pagbabalik po ng Batang Pinoy sa December 17. And again, excited po kami sa PSC para itanghal ang Batang Pinoy, ang ating grassroots program para sa 15 years old and below. Maraming salamat po sa Ilocos Sur and of course kay Governor Jerry Singson. And finally, kahapon na nagpunta po ako sa isang yung National Kickboxing Championship diyan po sa Mall of Asia Multipurpose Hall. At doon po nakita natin ang mga magagaling nating kickboxers. And again, nagpapasalamat ako kay Attorney Wharton Chan, ang Secretary General ng Kickboxing, ang Samahang Kickboxing ng Pilipinas. Kasama po natin dyan si Congressman Mike D. ng House Committee on Sports, si Jude Torquato ng MVP Sports Foundation Incorporated, and of course the rest of the combat sports family. Maraming salamat din po of course kay Senator Francis Tolentino sa suporta niya para sa kickboxing. Alright, talking about the PSC, siyempre, lagi tayo nagtatampok po ng mga sports na ating pong dinidevelop at ating pong ipinopromote. At dito po sa ating palatuntunan, meron po tayong tinatawag na sports sa ating slam book.
Power and Play with Com Noli Iyala.
At ngayon pong araw na to, ang ating itatampok ay isang sport na may Russian origin. At ito po ay ngayon sumisikat na sa Pilipinas. Isa pong forma ng martial arts at yan po ay walang iba kundi ang sport ng Sambo. At para po pag-usapan ang Sambo mula po sa Pilipinas Sambo Federation, ang kanilang Pangulo, walang iba kundi si Paolo Tancontian, at ang ating World Sambo medalist at two-time Asian Sambo gold medalist, si Miss Sydney C. Good morning, Paolo and Sydney. Thank you for joining us sa Power and Play. Paolo?
Good morning po.
Good morning, Sydney. Ayun si Paolo, naayos pa yung kanyang Paolo, good morning.
Maayong buntag, Chairman.
Maayong
Oli.
buntag.
Salamat sa inyong pag-imbita ngayong umaga. Thank you.
Alam mo, nakita kami kahapon ni Paolo at talaga nakakatuwa kahit na bumabagyo. Nandun lahat ang combat sports family sa MOA para tulungan at suportahan ng kickboxing. Paolo, unahin kita. Alam natin itong Sambo ay bagong sport. Talagang kumbaga umaangat na. Alam natin din na ito ay may pagka-Ruso ang origin. Paano ba at kailan nagsimula ang Sambo dito sa ating bansa?
Yes sir, nag-start po yung Sambo dito sa Davao City po. Nag-start po tayo noong 2015 po. And na bigyan kami ng regular membership ng POC 2019 po. After the SEA Games.
Talagang napakabata pa pala nitong Sambo, Paolo, no? And noong nasimulan nito, bakit nyo sinimulan nito? Saan nyo nakita to? Sino nag-introduce ng Sambo sa inyo? At bakit napunta sa Davao ito?
Year 2013, sir, nag-work po ako sa Singapore. And then, noong bago mag-Asian Games, gusto nila na ma-promote itong Sambo in the Southeast Asian region. That's why inumpisahan nila magkasabay tayo ng Indonesia, Vietnam, Thailand, and Philippines nga po.
All right. Sydney, you are a practitioner, you are an athlete ng ating Sambo, you are a former Sambo, World Sambo medalist, and of course, a two-time Asian Sambo gold medalist. Explain mo nga sa mga hindi nakakaalam, including me, no, na hindi ako masyadong familiar. What is Sambo? Ito ba ay wrestling? Ito ba ay karate? Ito ba ay judo? Ano pa to talaga, Sydney?
Yung Sambo po, meron po siyang dalawang disciplines, which is sport Sambo and combat Sambo. Ang discipline po na sinasalihan ko is yung sport Sambo, which is parang wrestling and judo po siya na mix.
Oo.
Opo. While combat Sambo is, yung combat Sambo po may striking, yun po, para siyang MMA.
Okay. Pero anong difference? Kagaya nung sinasabi mo, it's like wrestling and judo. Ano ang difference ng Sambo dun sa wrestling and judo? Meron ka bang hindi pwedeng gawin sa Sambo na pwede mong gawin sa wrestling or vice versa?
Sa Sambo po, medyo hindi po ganon ka, paano ba? Yung rules.
Yung rules.
Sa rules po nag-iiba. Sa Sambo, wala pong choking.
Okay.
Walang choking.
Oo.
Pero other than that, almost identical po. The skill set, same po. It's just the rules lang po kung ano yung pwede at hindi pwedeng gawin. Like judo, wala pong throws below the belt.
Okay.
So, bawal humawak below the belt, which is sa Sambo, pwede po.
Yung sinasabi mo, sport Sambo. So, ito parang forms? Ganun ba yan, Sydney?
Ano po siya? Ano ba? Parang, ano pa rin po siya?
May kalabang ka pa rin? May kalaban ka pa rin?
May kalaban pa rin
okay, may
po.
kalaban pa rin. Pero,
may kalaban pa rin po.
walang striking yung sa event mo? Walang striking?
Yes po, wala pong striking.
Paolo, when we, pag pinag-usapan natin ng Sambo, sinasabi nga ni Cindy, may sport, may combat. Doon sa combat, meron ka rin ba mga atleta? Meron bang atletang federation?
Yes, sir. Ang dami natin. We have our athlete, si Mark Sigel. Siya yung nakakuha ng gold medal during the Southeast Asian Games. And we have also Rene Catalan. Lahat yan sila combat, sir. Itong mga combat natin, sir, they are professional MMA fighters po. Ito yung ating mga national team. Kasi itong Sambo, sir, madali siyang matutunan, especially the rules. Kasi sa Russia, ito yung kanilang interpretation of MMA. So, mawala masyado siyang hindi siya yung typical na traditional martial arts. So, ito siya is parang hybrid martial arts, sir. Na talagang yung bakbakan talaga. Actually, ito ang ginagamit ng mga Russian fighter natin sa MMA, itong Sambo. So, para sa kanila, before they go to professional fight, nagsasambo muna sila, mga bata, nagsasambo muna. Yun ang kanilang basic fundamentals before they go to professional MMA fight.
Oo. Well, again, mga kaibigan, hindi po to samba, hindi po to sayaw. Sambo po ito. And again, sabi nga ni Paolo at ni Sydney, origin po nito ay sa Russia. In fact, literally po, yung word na Sambo is taken from a Russian word na ang ibig po sabihin niya ay self-defense without weapons. At ito po ay ginagamit ng napan-training ng Soviet Army noong araw nung nagsimula po to na combination ng mga iba't ibang klase ng technique. Paolo, in terms of that, nabanggit mo si Mark Sigel, si Rene Catalan, mga talagang professional fighters. But in terms of our national team doon sa grassroots, kamusta ang programa ng federation?
Actually, sir, sa Davao, ito nag-start. Ang dami po natin, yung mga athletes natin from Davao, andito na po sila ngayon, sir, nagtitraining sa Manila. Yung iba naman, nasa UST para to represent judo. Kasi almost the same sila yung sports Sambo na discipline. Almost the same with judo. Yun nga lang, wala masyadong restriction. Pwedeng humawak sa paa, pwedeng mag-leg locks. Marami siyang mga technique. Marami siyang mga high end na technique yung sambo. And pwede ma-apply sa judo, pwede mo ma-apply sa jiu-jitsu and wrestling. So, ano talaga ito? Hybrid martial arts po.
Oo nga. At saka mukhang talaga na kailangan kondisyon na kondisyon. And let me ask you about that, Sydney. Ikaw muna. I mean, paano ka ba napasok dito sa Sambo, Sydney? At sino nag-introduce sa'yo dito sa sport?
Yun po, like what my father said. Kasi I started from judo po since bata pa po ako. And nag-wrestling din po ako. Kaya nung nag-transition po ako to Sambo, hindi po ganun kahirap yung naging process. Yung pag-aaral ko lang po sa rules, yun lang po yung isa sa mga nanibago ako. Pero yung sa skills, almost similar na rin po. Ito,
nakikita natin ang video mo noong 2012 at talaga namang really it's more of a wrestling and of course a little bit of judo. Pero nakakatuwa, no? Napaka-physical. Sydney, when you made that shift, anong nagustuhan mo sa Sambo compared dun sa simula mo sa wrestling?
Siyempre po, mas comfortable po ako kasi meron po akong grip. Yung uniform is medyo hindi po ako nahirapan. Unlike nung nag-wrestling po ako kasi nanibago ako because of the grip. But nung nagsambo po, meron akong grip. So, mas nagagawa ko po yung mga technique ko, like how I do in judo. And I think na-enjoy ko po kasi nabigyan ako ng chance na mag-improve. Like, mag-represent overseas. Mas nagkaroon po ako, nag-gain po ako ng napakagandang experience.
Paano ang training ng Sambo, Sydney? Paano ang training ninyo? Meron ba kayong cross-training? Do you do a lot of weight training or cardio? Kamusta? Paano ang training ninyo?
So, a mix po of everything. Kasi one match is 5 minutes. So, kailangan din po namin ng cardio, endurance. So, meron po kaming session for that. Meron din po kaming mat training which consists of yung techniques while standing up and groundworks. Meron din po kaming cross-training. Minsan, connect po kami with wrestling kasi malaking tulong rin po na for strategic purposes pag naglalaro meron po kaming techniques for standing up, meron din po kami for leg techniques. So yun po.
All right. Well, we have a few minutes here. Paolo, gusto ko malaman anong hinahanap mo sa isang atleta ng Sambo para malalaman mo na bagay siya sa Sambo? Ano sa tingin mo katangian para sabihin natin pwede lumaban ito sa Sambo?
Yeah, sir, una-una yung talagang yung sipag, yun ang tinitignan ko. And of course, yung mabilis siyang maka-adapt in any situation. Tulad niyang pagti-training, yun nga, sobrang ito sir, sobrang dami ng technique kasi we are focusing in mga joint locks, leg locks. So, tapos yung mga, yung throwing, of course, yung throwing, unlike sa ibang sport, yung throwing, may mga limitation. Ito kasi, Chairman, is kailangan mong, pwede kang mag-grab ng paa, pwede mong gamitin yung judo throw, pwede mong gamitin yung wrestling throw, and of course, yung tawag dito, yung sa ground. So yung pinning, yun po isa yung malaking pwede mong ipin ang opponent mo. And then after pinning, pwede mo rin siyang i-joint lock and maraming aspeto. Yung punching, yung kicking. So almost complete na po sa kita ko sa Sambo. Kompleto Ricardo na po siya.
Ang tanong ko, Paolo, in terms of the federation, ano sa tingin mo, how can we improve, and of course the sport, no? How can we improve yung development at saka promotion ngayon? Paano natin matutulungan ng Sambo?
Siguro, number one, our problem is the uniform kasi wala tayong market na mabibili sa...
Ganun ba? Iba pala uniform yan, ha? Iba, ha?
Yes, nabibili lang po siya sa Russia lang po. And right now, medyo hindi magandang ating situation with the So that's why kailangan siguro tayo mag-produce ng ating sariling local uniforms. And yun, kailangan din siguro, Chairman, na libutin natin yung buong Pilipinas because before, naging judo coach din ako and naging athlete, naging judo coach, naging wrestling coach din. Mas maganda series of seminars po ang gagawin natin sa mga probinsya para maintindihan nila itong Sambo. Kasi in combat sport, malaki ang pag-aasa natin, especially in the martial arts, lalo pa yung may suntok, sipa. Kasi likas na magaling ang Pinoy pagdating sa yung striking sport yung
tama.
may suntok sipa, talagang likas na magaling tayo doon.
Well, talagang tayo ay mahuhusay pagdating sa mga combat at saka martial arts. Sydney, anong susunod para sa iyo? What are your next plans? Anong mga torneo na sasalihan mo?
For this year po, focus po ako for the UAAP upcoming next month. And for Sambo naman po, ang focus ko po is for Asian Indoor Martial Arts Games.
Okay, that will be around end of the year, next year, no? Mga third quarter. All right. Very good. Well, salamat sa inyong dalawa, Paolo and Sydney, for joining us this morning. Alam ko na marami pa tayong kailangan gawin para sa Sambo, but sa awa ng Diyos and of course sa tulong ng ating pamahalaan ay ating pong ipopromote ang sport ng Sambo. Paolo, maraming salamat at Sydney sa pagsama sa atin dito ngayong umagang ito.
Thank you rin po sa pag-invite niyo po sa amin.
Chairman, maraming salamat po, especially the support of the PSC. Salamat po at hindi kami napabayaan and tuloy-tuloy ang suporta ninyo. Thank you very much po.
Thank you so much mga kaibigan ng ating pong presidente ng Pilipinas Sambo Federation, si Paolo Tangcontian, at ang ating champion sa Sambo, si Sydney C. sa ating slam book feature. Marami pa po tayong itatampok pagdating sa mga sports na hindi masyadong siguro nakikilala pero umaangat na po ang ating mga atleta. And we really need to support para po sa ating mga atleta. Alright mga kaibigan, at this point, medyo tuloy-tuloy po tayo sa pag-uusap. Siya nga pala, yung mga nagtataka kung anong nangyayari sa aking Philadelphia 76ers, lumalabang po 99-81. Aba, kita nyo, mukhang mananalo ngayong araw na to ang Philadelphia. 4 minutes to go, 18-point lead laban sa Toronto Raptors. Well, talking about winners, ang ating susunod na makakapanayam ay talaga namang tunay na kampiyon. Sila po ay ang defending champion ng PVL Conference. Ito pong reinforced conference dahil huling nilaro to 2019 at sila po ang nanalo, yung Petro Gas Angels. At ating pong nakapanayam ang dalawa sa miyembro ng Petro Gas Angels na kasalukuyan ay nasa third place ng reinforced conference. Walang iba kundi si Grethcel Soltones at ang kanilang import na si Lindsey, Vander, Weide. Panoorin niyo po ito. At kasama na po natin ngayon ang Petro Gas Angels. Walang iba kung hindi ang veteran, of course, the veteran Grethcel Soltones, and the foreign player or the reinforcement in the reinforced conference for Petro Gas, Lindsey, Vander, Weide. Good evening, ladies. Thank you for joining us today on Power and Play.
Of course.
Hi po. Thank you po. Thanks for having us.
First of all, it has been a up and down conference so far. I'll ask you first, Grethcel. Did you expect this kind of start para sa team ng Petro Gas Angels?
Yes, kasi nag-extra workout kasi kami, nagdo-double time kami lahat. So, lahat ng to pinaghirapan namin. And I guess makukuha na namin this time yung dapat naming makuha.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've seen you go win, loss, win. You played 3 tough teams, but so far the wins have been amazing, straight set wins, and the losses have been tough. Lindsey, what has been the key so far to the performance of the Angels?
I think we're really playing focused, which has been a good thing. I feel like the one slip up we had was in the cream line game, but it was still a close game. We know what we need to work on, though, and that's good that we can focus on those specific things.
Exactly, and of course, we all know that Creamline is one of the top teams in the league, and obviously, a lot of teams are benchmarking against that particular team. Let me go back to you, Lindsey. You've played in a lot of leagues all over the world, especially in Europe. You played in Athens, you've played in France, and you've played in Hungary. How has this experience playing in the PVL so far? How is your experience so far? And of course, playing with Petro Gazz.
My experience so far is really great. This is definitely a shorter season than the European League, so it's easier for me to focus all my energy into these 3 months that I'm here. And the energy here is definitely very different than Europe as well, with the fans, with my teammates, and it's really enjoyable. I really enjoy playing in the Philippines so far.
How do you compare the volleyball here in the Philippines to the places that you've been to so far?
I would definitely say that volleyball in the Philippines is a bit faster, especially in Europe. There's a lot of taller, bigger girls. They need the higher sets. The plays are just slower, and here it's all about making quick plays, being fast, which is actually fun for me to play. I used to play like that in college, but it's definitely the speed of the game is different.
That's quite interesting, and we can see that, and I think that's why volleyball has been endeared to many fans in the Philippines. Grethcel, obviously Lindsey is new in the Philippines. It's her first time in Asia and new to the team. How is Lindsey as a teammate? Kahit na, let's just pretend she's not here right now.
So far naman po okay siya. Mabilis siyang makakatch up, lalo na sa paglalaro. Kasi nung una medyo hirap din talaga kami. But now, like sa mga fast sets, medyo okay na siya. Pero outside the court naman, hindi siya maarte. So, okay siya.
Anong pinakamalaking factor na dinadala ni Lindsey sa team? What's the biggest thing that she brings to the Petro Gazz Angels?
Yung greet niya every point. Nakikita mo talaga sineselebrate niya. Kahit hindi siya yung naka-point, nakikita mo talaga na nililift up niya yung bawat teammates namin sa loob.
So Lindsey, this is your first time in Asia, and of course your first time in the Philippines. Before coming over, was there any? How did you know about the PVL? Did you know about the volleyball scene here?
I would say I knew about it a little bit, but not to really any extent of what it was like or what it is like. I knew a couple people that had played here. I knew it was a fun, energetic league to play in, but that was really it. So I kind of came in a little blind, but I'm definitely happy that I did because I really enjoy it.
Why did you decide to come over? Was it because of the people that you talked to, or was there a particular role that you were told that you were going to play with the Petro Gazz Angels?
Well, I mean, all my friends that have played here told me that they really enjoyed it. So that, off the bat, that was a really good sign. I also wasn't trying to play in Europe again. I've done that for 3 years, and I wanted something different. I've been wanting to play in a country in Asia, so this kind of just fell right into place, and it worked out nicely.
All right. Well, Grethcel, let me ask you, how have you adjusted to Lindsey being in the team? Has it been difficult in terms of sharing of roles? Is there more responsibility now to make these adjustments? How did you adjust to Lindsey now being part of the team?
Siguro po sa language barrier naman, di naman masyadong nag-a-adjust. Siguro yung sa gelling namin inside the court. Kasi syempre iba po yung nakasanayan niya sa sistema namin. Pero so far, na-adapt niya agad in siguro mga 3 weeks lang. Ganun.
Wow!
2 weeks. Opo, ang bilis niya po. Tsaka sabi niya naman sa amin na talagang maano siya sa trabaho niya.
Oo. 2 weeks lang, naka-adjust na kagad. And nakakatuwa naman yun. You know, Grethcel was saying na how you've adjusted so quickly, Lindsey, to your role. And that's amazing because that's what you need coming over. But if I ask you, what has been the biggest adjustment for you so far coming over to the Philippines?
Yeah, definitely the biggest adjustment for me was the humidity here, and the humidity carries into the gyms. So I am sweating a lot in practice, nothing like I've ever sweat before. So it just feels no workout. So it was definitely tough the first couple weeks, but now that I've gotten into it, it feels more normal. I'm definitely in better volleyball shape again, so I feel good now.
Malinaw na, you know, I guess it's easier because from, you know, the you and Lindsey share yung culture ng Amerikano. Obviously, masanay tayo sa mga Americans than we are, I guess, with Europeans or even with South Americans, no? But in terms of learning, Grethcel, anong biggest learning na natututunan nyo mula kay Lindsey?
Especially nung against like Creamline, parang sinasabi niya kasi sa amin na andun na tayo, kulang lang talaga ng pukpuk pa. Tsaka sabi niya na wag lang talagang bumitaw and kunyari nagkakagulo na, wag lang talaga dapat bumitaw agad kahit anong mangyari. Tsaka tulungan dapat. Yun, parati niyang sinasabi sa amin. Tsaka nililift up niya talaga yung bawat isa, inaano niya yung fire ng bawat isa. Kaya mo yan, go, ganun siya.
Is she a natural leader on the floor? And of course, outside of the court, kamusta naman si Lindsey also?
Makulit din siya. Makulit din siya. Nakaka-jive po talaga siya sa amin. Since mas bata po sa akin si Lindsey. And, yun nga, parang, basta po hindi siya maarte. Mabilis siyang pakisamahan. Right.
Well, you know, talking about that, I wanna know a little bit about you, Lindsey. Where did you grow up? And of course, how many are you in the family? Are you all athletes in your family?
Yeah. So I grew up in California. I have the family of 5, 2 sisters. I have an older sister who played softball her entire life. She's now retired. She's older. And then I have a younger sister who's 21. She's playing college volleyball right now. She's following my footsteps. She's just like me. And she'll probably play professional volleyball too. So we definitely have some athletes in the family.
Are your parents also both athletes?
Yeah, my parents played sports in high school, but they're not really they didn't really carry on past that, but they're both tall humans. My dad's 6'7", my mom is 5'10". So it kind of, you know, carries on to me.
All right, and you come over here, you know, you see our athletes here, you see our volleyball players. What was the first impression that you got from your teammates about your team?
My first impression of the teammates is that they don't play like they're small girls. They're playing like they're 6'2" girls. They're jumping out of the gym, they're playing balls straight down, just like how I can. They're doing it, but they're just smaller versions of me that are able to do it the same way I do it, which is amazing to me.
Unbelievable. Well, you know, we may be lacking in height, but we certainly don't have a lack in skill or in heart, because the Filipino volleyball player is truly an amazing athlete. Grethcel, you know, when you first saw Lindsey, ano naman ang first impression mo sa kanya?
Syempre po, unang-una napansin ko talaga yung height niya. So parang kasi every time I face like taller than me, na-challenge talaga ako. Oh, so ito yung import namin, ang laki-laki. So kailangan palusatan ko talaga ng bola to para mas matuto ako.
Kailangan talaga medyo magpakita rin, no, na kahit malaki, kaya. All right, let's go back to your team. You know, as I mentioned, it's been a good start. You know, a strong start for the Angels. Grethcel, what has been the key sa 2-1 record ninyo so far?
Yun nga, parating sinasabi sa amin ni coach na be coachable kasi hindi lahat alam namin. Kumbaga dapat open yung bawat isa to learn and pasensya lang talaga. Yun.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Lindsey? What do you like about your team?
I like how together we play. You know, it's always hard to tell how we were going to play as a team in practice. So coming into the first game, I wasn't quite sure how we were going to play together. We had some friendly games, but it's just different once the lights come on. And we showed game one that we can play really well together, and that gave me a lot of confidence in myself, my entire team. So I think we can really go off that first game. I mean, obviously we had a tough loss, but we bounced back, and I think we're going to continue to do that.
You were the 2019 champion of the Reinforced Conference at Petro, Grethcel. So parang technically you are the defending champions because hindi tayo nagkaroon ng Reinforced Conference in the last years of the pandemic. How big of a motivation is that for you dito sa Reinforced Conference?
Sobrang laki kasi, for me kasi, sir, hindi siya sila. Kasi bagong salta kami ng Petrogas. So parang
Correct.
Tapos na yon. So ngayon, dapat ang i-focus namin yung kami, yung bago. Nakaka-pressure din in a way. But for me kasi, mas nakaka-challenge siya. Tinatanggap ko siya as a challenge. Kasi hindi basta-basta mag-champion ng isang team pag di talaga dadaan sa butas ng karayo. Pero happy ako sa challenge na to.
At saka yung sa apoy yung ika nga, you have to go through the fire to get really better. Gretchen, what about you, Lindsey? Because, as I mentioned, this is a team that is actually defending the crown. Is there more pressure on you? Because you know how important the role of the import is in a tournament like this. Do you feel added pressure that you are the defending champions?
I would say there's a little bit of added pressure for sure. In some early interviews before we even started the season, they were asking about that, and I honestly didn't know that we were the defending champion. And so I was like, okay, I really had to, prove myself because they've obviously had some really good imports in the past. So I would say initially I was feeling a little pressure from it, but now that I'm into season, I feel like I don't really feel that much pressure from it anymore. I know what, I need to do, and we know what we need to do as a team. So pressure's good though sometimes, so it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, that's right. Well, you mentioned in one of your interviews that you said, I like playing against good teams. You said that it brings out the best in you. What is the team that has impressed you the most so far in this young conference?
A lot of the teams are really strong, but I will definitely have to say Creamline. Some teams, have to rely heavily on their import, but that team has players that are not the import that are scoring at a really high level. And I mean, that's teams that are going to win is when not only their import is playing well, but their team around them is. So Creamline is definitely strong.
All right. Grethcel, alam natin that this is an import-dominated conference. In fact, in your last few games, Lindsey has scored huge, 21 points against Akari. She had 25 points against Chocomucho. So she has had to carry a lot of the load. But anong mindset ninyo now that you are playing with Lindsey? Does that make it easier for you, or sa tingin nyo mas lalo pa kayong kailangang magpursige?
For me kasi, sure, siguro mas mapadali. Pero kasi ang mindset talaga namin na andyan lang si Lindsey to help but not to carry the team. Kasi mag-isa lang siya eh. So kami as a team, kaming all Filipino, dapat kami yung mas more on makakapuntos, ganito, ganyan. Kasi andyan lang talaga siya para to help us.
Oo, ang cute naman ang aso natin dyan. Ano ba pangalan yan?
Lucas po. Hello.
Lucas! Hello, Lucas. All right. Grethcel, one more thing. You see Lindsey as an import. When you look at the other imports, ano nakikita mo magandang matchup against Lindsey, and what are you looking forward to in terms of a matchup in the game, in the next few games?
I think Lindsey's advantage is she's open to learn kasi she's too young. I know, she's young pa kung iisipin. I think she's the most young sa mga imports. And also, and si Lindsey din, isa siya sa palaban talaga. Like, hindi lang sa opensa, sa defense, parang all around nata siya. And willing pa siya to learn kahit nakikita namin na andyan mas taas pa yung niya sa amin, laro sa amin.
All right. Lindsey, is your youth Grethcel said that you were probably one of the younger ones. Is that an advantage or a disadvantage for you?
I am one of the younger imports, but I don't know if I feel that young, to be honest. I feel like I've been playing volleyball literally forever. I feel like I'm an old volleyball player. But I would definitely say the youth is good because my body is not broken yet. She's still taking me where I need to go, so that's definitely one of the pluses. But I mean, you see the older imports out here scoring crazy points. So clearly, I don't know if age has, so much of an advantage.
What would you say would be the measurement of you being successful with the Petrogas Angels in this reinforced conference?
That's a tough question. I feel like they needed someone that could put the ball away in clutch moments, and I feel like I'm that kind of person. I want the ball in those kind of moments. I'm a player that likes a little bit of pressure, and I feel like maybe that's what they needed. Of course, we have other girls that can score, like MJ Phillips and Jonah. They're going to score when they get set. But in those clutch moments, when you need a big hitter, I'm the person to go to. So I think that definitely helps us as a team out for sure.
Excellent. Well, obviously an import is always relied upon, but as you said, there are many good players on the team, and you've been very vocal about that, about how Jonah Sabete has really helped you perform even better because the defense is not focused on you. Grethcel, you are a former MVP of this league, and obviously now that you are with Petrogas and looking for a first championship with this team, ano pa ang gusto mong patunayan with this Petrogas Angels team?
Ang nasa mindset po kasi sa akin ngayon, ipasok man ako o hindi, andyan lang kami to help sa bawat isa. Kasi hindi lang naman during sa games kami nakaka-help, kundi nag-start talaga sa training. Ngayon kasi, ang sinasabi sa amin ni coach, yung mga nasa bench na anytime, pwede kayong ipasok. So, ready kayo. So, dapat kami, pag pinasok kami, puntos agad, makatulong agad. Kahit maliit man yung na itulong mo, ayun pa rin yung magmamatter sa whole game.
Personal goal mo with the Petrogas Angels? Yan po mga kaibigan ang panayam natin with Lindsey, Vander, Weide at si Grethcel Soltones ng Petrogas Angels. Konti na lang naman yung, kung gusto niyo po mapanood yung buong interview, konti na lamang po dun sa dito na hindi natin na ipalabas, amin pong i-upload yan sa ating Facebook page. Again, thank you so much and good luck to Petrogas. They have a game today laban sa F2 Logistics. Bago po tayo magtapos gusto ko lang pong basahin lahat po ng mga nanalo o i-announce lahat po ng mga nanalo dun sa ating top-up promo mula sa Joyride Super App. Unahin ko na po si Ivan Roy Yalong. Congratulations. Geras Salvador, Jason Daulong, Mina Palencia at si Maan Enriquez. Lahat po kayo makakatanggap ng 1,000 pesos e-wallet credits mula sa Joyride Super App, ang bago ninyong kasundo. At of course mga kaibigan, yung mga nagpadala ng kanilang kuro-kuro sa ating Pulso ng Bayan, ang tinatanong natin ngayon, saan ba nagkamali itong LA Lakers management? Kaya po sila nalugmok dito sa kanilang kinalalagyan sa kasalukuyan na parang hindi sila makaangat-angat. Mula pa sa Twitter, sabi ni Marvin Monte Alegre, pagkuha kay Westbrick. Sabi naman ni Joe Jacob, proof that filling one's team with star players isn't an automatic guaranteed championship contender. Tama yan Ako, naniniwala ako dyan. Talagang you build from the ground, no? Mula kay 19 Grudge Kid 84, sabi niya, for me, ang mali ng Lakers team ay binitawan nila ang key players na nakatulong sa kanila na nag-champion sila during lockdown season, katulad ni Caruso, Harrell, and Kuzma. From Facebook, ang sinabi dito ni, sandali lang marami tayong mga kuro. Rosa Moore, para magulo to I think sa lead player na siya mismo magde-decide at nasusunod sa lahat. Parang tinutukoy niya dito si LeBron. Sabi niya, respect the coach at wag trade ng same kayo ng play. Mula kay Jay Chio, sabi niya, they listen too much with the whims of LeBron, they could have kept part of their core had they traded for Buddy instead of Westbrook. From Joe Lumbres, sabi niya, I think it is the mix of too much all-star players. No more room for that extra hustle to win games. From JB Cabuses, blowing their bubble championship roster too soon and hiring an unknown head coach. Jomar Femia, sa coach at sa general manager, hindi na sila makasabay sa mga batang player. From Jeffrey Zaide, getting Westbrook is a big mistake. Alright, marami pong mga kuro-kuro tungkol sa Lakers. But once again, it's an early season. Well, hopefully, they can still make the adjustments. Hopefully, hindi po masayang ang panahon ni LeBron James kasama natin habang siya po ay naglalaro because LeBron is still ultimately one of the greatest that ever played sa NBA. And that'll do it for us ngayong umagang puwitong ito. Isang pagbati ng happy birthday sa ating manager, si Junray Botona ng TV5 Security. Happy birthday sa iyo, Junray. Alright, maraming po salamat sa inyong pagsubaybay. Kita-kita ulit tayo next week. At lagi po nating sinasabi dito sa Power and Plays, tuwing Sabado, bawal ang masungit. At sa lahat po ng ating gawain, ad Maiorem Dei Gloriam, all for the greater glory of God. Kami po ang 1PH Teleserbisyo para sa Pilipino. Susunod na po ang inay ko po. Happy Sports Weekend. Kahit maulan mga kapatid, mag-ingat po kayo. More power, more play.
Sa kapwa ko Pilipino, ipagmalaki ang galing na meron tayo. Ilantad ang likas nating talento at magdala ng saya sa mundo. Sa harap ng pagsubok ay di susuko. Para sa pangarap tayo'y porsigido. Magpakitang gilas na at puntang patalo. Ipagdiwang natin ang Pilipino. Yan ang Pinoy. Mula noon at hanggang ngayon, talento natin ng bida. Mula sa simpleng bakuran hanggang entablado natin ipakita. May pagsubok man ng Pinoy, pinalalakas ng saya. San man tayo sa pulot, sumbe, sibay, lakay, amiga. Sama-samang pakita, ang galing natin katropa. Sa kapwa ko Pilipino. Pilipino. Yan ang Pinoy.
Mukhang kailangan ko na naman palitan ng bubong ko, pare. Mag-iisang taong pa lang yan. May tulo na kagad.
Ay, bossing! Baka naman kasi hindi matibay yung ginamit nyo.
Jess ng umaga. Inay ko po.